Well, it's Saturday morning and it's raining, so it's kind of thrown a wrench in a bunch of stuff today. So I was planning on being out here doing yard work and running over to my daughter's and doing a little over there, but that went out the window. It's been raining for about an hour and had some thunder, maybe a little lightning earlier, so I'm kind of just hanging out. However, I did get some paint work done early this morning. More paint work. I've been painting on those little monsters for the spaceships, but this morning, let's see, got all the little spaceships in Orion silver base coat. Just did the interior on this one because this one's going to be black. I'm going to be using the Tropical Glitz Cosmic Black on the hull of that one. These two are going to be House of Colors Candy Hot Pink. Not sure on this little guy yet. Just going to let him sit, but I wanted to get everything in base coat as much as I could. And last few parts for the Camaro, got those painted in candy red this morning. I just had these last few goofy things that I decided, well, the spoiler I knew I was going to do red, but I've got a windshield wiper. I can only put one on there because of the hood, and the side mirror I decided to do that in candy red. So I stripped those earlier in the week and got that done. Got a couple shift knobs I'm working on, one from my buddy Pat, and the other one's mine because I got two of them, so I just figured I'd just do them both. So I've just been putting just a little bit of color on those, and that switch, he just had a new shift knob made for his 33 Ford, so he won't be using that, but it'll be a shelf setter. Did do some work. Get it open. Been working on Eddie from Iron Maiden, so got some color on his face, another bright one, and I can get him glued together, and I'll be brush painting his clothes, and need to do just a little bit more airbrush work on him, just a little more color. I've got a piece taped up, a rat faint piece that I should have shot with the neon green when I was shooting it, but I had so many other pieces going on that I forgot about it. It's been taped up here for probably a good month, sitting in here. I've got a zillion other parts. Got the Deals Wheels van kind of waiting in the wings. I've been just painting parts of it, so here and there. A little Volkswagen, some trailer parts, some dragster parts, some boat parts for one of the boats that I'm working on, just some odds and ends for the my diorama, another one of those ride-on Chevy fenders, square body fenders. So just and these other little figures I've got in primer. So I keep these bins with just odds and ends of stuff. Got this little dude here that my daughter gave me. I got this big ass resin tire that Chuck Darnell made for me that I'm going to make a display out of. A few other shift knobs going on. Another little saucer that Jimmy Flintstone sent me. So I got all kinds of little crap going on. But so what I was going to tell you guys is that, you know, most of you that know me or have known me know that I really am interested in the history of the hobby. I've been lucky enough to be friends with a lot of the early guys who were instrumental in our hobby. You know, Tom Daniel, Bob Paith, who did all the artwork on a lot of most of the early Revell kits. Just a lot of influential people. I talked to Roth only through letters. I talked to Von Franco all the time. You know, these are guys that affected me. Of course, Sonny DePalma. Guys that affected my building, my artwork over the years, and so, you know, I had started doing this when I had my website up. I took the website down in January because it was just getting too expensive, and I'm not doing commission work anymore. But I'm still interested in the history of the hobby, and you know, in my own personal history, I kind of started working on that. I'd been piecing that together for a couple of years, and I ended up, when I shut the website down, I didn't save all the information, which I should have. So I think what I'm going to do, and you may or may not be interested, so you don't have to watch, but I'm going to start this sometime soon. I'm going to do my own personal history with models and just kind of share some stuff. But what I want to do is dig out some photographs, some early pictures, and things, you know, just kind of put it together that way. And I think I'll just throw that once in a while, just throw one of those videos in there and try to keep it short and sweet, you know, whatever, and just little bits and pieces to just kind of give you guys my background and what has influenced me in my building, in my artwork, pretty much for my whole life. And it's not going to be some long drawn out thing, because it really just a few people instrumental in what I've done, especially in the last 20 years. So anyway, I thought I'd do that. Thought it would be fun to do. So, and I kind of want to do it for my kids and my family, just so whenever I am gone, maybe it'll hang around YouTube for a while, and they can watch that. So, okay, all right. So that's what I got done this morning. I'll probably add to this and post this up on Sunday morning for Model Cars and Coffee. So I will be back with you in just a bit and show you what's going on with that. I should hopefully, while these parts dry for the Camaro, get these last few parts on. I'm down to a half a dozen parts, and the exhaust system. So I've been painting up the mufflers, those Thrush mufflers. I got the 3D printed mufflers. I really like those. I'm doing a little paint detail work on the Thrush logos on those, and just going to figure out what I'm going to go from there. If I'm going to just straight pipe it or do some bends, you know, have them coming out in front of the rear wheel wells, and I'll figure it out what I'm going to do. So I'll see you when I jump on this again. All right. Hey everybody, Tim here, Ratdaddy Studios, and happy to say that the Camaro is finished. So this is the Revell, formerly Monogram, if I remember correctly, 69 Camaro, 1/12 scale, and this is something different for me. So I went with this kind of pro touring look on this. Body is painted in tropical glitz snow white, and it's so staticky. It's just picking up just stuff just sitting here. It's top coated with House of Colors Cosmic Clear with DuPont Ice Blue Pearl in the mix. Rims and anything that's either blue or red is House of Colors Candy Oriental Blue and Candy Apple Red. So I follow this theme through on everything. Tires and rims are from Z-Force Model Works. Really great stuff. Really like this stuff. The hood and the seats, which are Bugatti, and the rear louvers are all from Hooligan Scale Models. That would be those guys, both those guys right there. And the gauges I got from my usual eBay guy, whose card I don't think I have. Oh, wait, there we go. Yeah. Best Model Car Parts. That's where the instrumentation came from for the interior. Buy those on eBay, so I think I got everybody covered there. All right, and so I really like the way this came out. The blue tinted windows I made from sheet acrylic, and that would include the windshield, the rear window, and the side windows. The motor basically is the 302 that came with the kit, and changed the wiring over to red wiring. And the same thing, followed through with the same theme. And this build took an extra long time, really, just because of the paint work involved here. So, and I carried this same thing over to the chassis. Give us a flip. So the whole bottom of the car also done in the same candy colors, and any of the little chrome details done with Molotow. The exhaust system, I made that out of aluminum tubing, which I shaped and then polished and then clear coated believe those mufflers, the thrush mufflers, I think I got those from Hooligans as well, if I believe, yeah, I think so. So yeah, I mean, this is different for me. I mean, this would be obviously not a daily driver. This would be something you would see at SEMA or something like that. So, you know, kind of a show car kind of thing. Interior followed through with the same colors. We've got gray carpets, Tamiya gray, and then used the same candy colors on everything. White dashboard. Used the same candy colors on the seats, and the rest of the interior components, the door panels, console, all the same. Just gonna flip this around there a little bit. Use the tag out of the kit. I'm not sure that pearl finish is showing up in this lighting or not, but it actually shows up better with indoor lighting than it does out in direct sunlight. I mean, the candy really pops in direct sunlight because this all has a Orion Silver, which is a really ultra-fine metal flake base coat. So this will really light up in the sun. And I'm planning on doing some video out in the sun at some point. I did the steering wheel in white. I don't know if you can quite see the instrumentation in there on the dash. I just can't quite get the angle in there, but pretty happy with this. Really didn't have too many issues. I ended up with one little fleck in my paint, which is not abnormal for me. It's just I had a. Of course, it had to be on the freaking roof, you know, right there. But this thing is so staticized from me handling it, it's picking up every little. All right, so my GoPro pooped out, so I had to splice this in. Anyway, so yeah, I dechromed pretty much everything, like mirrors. There's a few little bits of chrome, but most of it was dechromed. But I did leave the carbs chrome, and the alternator and a few other things. And I did airbrush the headers with the Molotow pen, and did a few other little details with the Molotow. The grill, front spoiler, did that in the candy colors, and I carried the theme over, kind of the red turning to the blue in the back here, and did this in the candy blue. And of course painted the bumpers front and back in body color. Body has been completely shaved. No door handles, keyholes, no badges, just smooth. And this thing is, it's like a giant bar of soap. It is just so slick, but I really like it. I like the way it turned out. So yeah, so that's that on this. Time to move on to the next thing. Got a bunch of little alien dudes waiting for their turn, and got a bunch of spaceships to get ready for them. So that's coming up, and be working on that big 1/12 scale drag boat as well. I'm going to start prepping that for some work. So that's what's coming up next. So we'll see you later this week, probably for What Did You Buy Wednesday, and we'll go from there. All right, thanks for tuning in. Hope you like the build, and leave a comment. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you next time.